Good afternoon. Hi, guys. I'm Angel.
And I'm Luna, and you're watching The Girls' Room.
Today's episode, part two, top 10 chick flicks. Let's talk about it.
Coming up at number one, Angel.
Is First Daughter.
Hmm.
First Daughter is one of my all-time favorite rom-coms. It stars the beautiful Katie Holmes, Batman himself, Michael Keaton. Let me talk about this movie. This movie talks about Samantha Mackenzie, who her father is the president of the United States of America. She grows up in the White House, has never been in love, ventures off to college, makes a new friend, meets James, her RA. Now, what she doesn't know is her father sent James as her Secret Service bodyguard guy.
Oh, yep.
And they start hanging out as friends and then they go on dates. She starts to really, really fall head over heels in love with this guy, and he's super cute. And then she takes her friend Mia and James on Air Force One to the ball. So they all go get dressed up by Vera Wang, et cetera, et cetera. They get to the White House. She's dancing. And then all of a sudden, as the night ends, a car comes crashing in. He picks her up, puts her in a car, and then uses his secret microphone. And what she doesn't wake up to or realize is that he's really her Secret Service. She then goes back to uni, goes back to her dorm, goes out with her friend Mia, and they dress up as Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson. She gets really intoxicated, and then she tries to make him jealous by going to at her uni to the place to collect girls' products to make him think that, she's active.
Yeah.
He stands there and he can't do anything, but Secret Service, his people call him in. He gets called off duty because he did the wrong thing, because he fell in love with her, right? And basically, she ends up going back to the White House with her mom on the campaign trail for her dad to get a second term in office. And as she's there, he wins the second term. Who happens to be but James?
Ooh.
He this time takes her hand up to her, and as it's saying goodbye, it's like you're like, oh, they're so cute. And that
Oh, romance.
that moment when they kiss, it's like, and then sort of the
A
narrator,
true chick flick.
yeah, the true meaning of chick flick, and you hear the narrator, it's like, no, what happens now? Like, oh, this movie needs to have a prequel, a sequel, whatever you call it. I think Katie Holmes is a really, 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 really strong, amazing actress. And her character in this really, coming from Dawson's Creek, etc., really brings out her natural sweet side. And I absolutely love this movie. And I've seen it maybe 500 times already. No, what exaggeration, but I've seen it a lot of times. And I actually own a copy of it on DVD. So, First Daughter.
Beautiful.
Now, what do you have for number two?
All right, sis. Coming up at number two. Let's go with Beaches.
Oh,
So Beaches is a tearjerker. Let's just put that out there. It's a big tearjerker. All right. So when CC Bloom, Bette Midler, a child performer, and Hilary Whitney, Barbara Hershey, I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, a rich kid, meet in Atlantic City at the age of 11. It's a recipe for eternal friendship. When the two are parted, the promise to write the promise to write happens and do for many years. CC becomes a performer, and Hilary grows up to become a lawyer. The pair eventually reunite in adulthood. They obviously break up at this point, and they reunite in adulthood, right? And they end up falling. Sorry, I'm having difficulty reading my own writing. They end up falling over the men that they choose to be with. Eventually, these relationships flounder. And once again, they reunite in their friendship. And they discover that Hillary is actually 3 months pregnant. Hillary is played by Barbara Hershey. The two remain together, taking care of each other, and they only separated for a short time there because Cece had a performance opportunity which she took. Ended up being a mistake, obviously. Yeah, but they separate only for a short time, and they reunite in time for the birth. Cece goes on to have a successful career, and Hillary goes on to being a mother and practicing law until she gets sick. She's diagnosed with cardiomyopathy, and Cece steps up to take care of her best friend. When Hillary passes away eventually, which is just one of the saddest moments in movie history, honestly. I remember crying so hard when this happened. So then Hillary dies. Cece is left to care for her daughter Victoria. She takes her in and she tells her the story of how her and her mother met as children. And that's where the movie ends.
I think I actually love Beaches. I remember watching Beaches for the first time.
Yeah.
And I knew it was a tearjerker because I had a box of tissues with me when I was younger.
Yeah.
You're sitting down eating chocolate and sort of like you're cuddled up with a blanket and the pillow, and you're watching it, and it's just so freaking sad.
Yes, I
It
know.
really highlights the
It's the definition of a chick flick, but in the saddest way possible. Like, it is a really sad moment when she passes away, and I think that was one of the first moments that I was introduced to death in such a serious way.
like I think what it highlights for me is the importance of who you love and the definition of friendship when it becomes family and the love that the friendship slash family has.
Yeah.
Like I have for each other. I think
Yeah.
that's what that movie sums up to me, is like the bond of
Yeah, exactly. There is a really nice message there of hidden friendship and deep friendship, truthful friendship.
Yeah.
And yeah, all right, coming up at number 3, Angel.
Legally Blonde.
Woo!
Another
Classic. Absolute
See?
classic.
Witherspoon. I love you. Thank you so much for creating this movie. Legally Blonde Part 1. So, Elle Woods, fashion major from Delta Nu, high sorority girl. Everyone in her sorority loves her. She's rich. She's amazing.
In a perfect
Dates
day.
the hottest jock in her sorority, Warner Huntington III.
Warner, that's right.
Warner Huntington. And then her and her friends, Serena Margot, thinks that that Warner's gonna propose to her. That's why he takes her out on this hot date. And if you notice at the date, they're talking about something, they're talking about it, their futures. And she puts out, I do. And he goes, I think we should see other people. And then you have that when Harry met Sally moment, but without that moment, but when you have her crying, it's an instant flashback to when Harry met Sally. And she's fake crying.
Yeah.
And then she makes him look like a complete tool. I have to say that was hilarious. And then he tells her, "Oh, I don't need a Barbie. I don't need a Marilyn. I need a Jackie." Because she's not. She doesn't. She thinks that she's dumb when she's not. So she stays in her dorm for a few days, cries, and then she goes out on this rampage. Not rampage, but to get back at him, she studies her LSATs in America. I think I don't know what that equivalent of our university entrance is here. And she passes it and ends up at the same Harvard University as him studying law, and ends up in all his classes. And he proposes to Vivian, Selma Blair, love her as well. And
love Selma Blair.
Yeah, love Selma Blair. And she starts getting to the top of her classes, and she meets Paulette in the nail salon, if you remember the bend and snap.
Yes, classic bend and snap.
And
historical now. It's historical.
And her and Paulette again have a friendship, and they're always hanging out. And she's saying to him, "Oh, you should dump the jerk," blah blah blah. And then one of her professors hits on her, and and she goes into this murder trial, for a aerobics instructor. And the aerobics instructor fires Elwood's professor, and she becomes the lawyer. What does Elle do? He wins the court case.
Woo!
And she dumps Warner. But the highlight of this movie, again, is not just the friendship. I think it makes you realize that us girls, us women, we can do just about anything and everything.
Oh, we are, definitely. And it also shows that stereotypes are not 100% real, and they have some truth to them, because Elle is sort of like a ditzy blonde fun type of character, but it shows that she's capable of being both.
Yeah.
A really great message for young women.
I think it's important to look at it and go, us girls can be nurses, can be doctors, can be teachers, can be mothers, can be wives, can be lawyers. If you set your mind to anything as a woman, as a girl, you are so powerful and strong that no one can stop you doing it or being it. That's what I love about these movies. Their messages have such hope in them.
Yeah.
All right. Part 3. What do you have?
All right. Number 4. Coming up at number 4.
Sorry.
That's okay. I have Crossroads.
Oh.
Absolute classic chick flick. One of the tops. One of the greatest of all time. It's a goat. All right. So there's a couple big names in this picture. We've got Britney Spears, Jamie Lynn Spears, Anson Mount, Zoe Saldana, Taron Manning, Kim Cattrall, and Dan Aykroyd. That's just to name some of them. All right. So as children growing up in a small town, I'm just going to do something very quickly. Lucy, Kit, and Mimi bury a wish box. Okay. And they vow to dig it up on the night of their high school graduation. However, as the trio grows up, their friendship fades. They all go their separate ways. Lucy becomes introverted valedictorian. Kit becomes the most popular girl in school. And Mimi becomes an outcast from the trailer park, facing teenage pregnancy. On the night of graduation, they reunite to dig up the wish box, remembering their old wishes. Kit wanted to get married. Lucy wanted to find her mother, who abandoned her. And Mimi wanted to travel to California. Lucy and Kit tried to convince Mimi, who is 5 months pregnant now, not to go to Los Angeles to audition for a record company. However, they decide to go with her to Los Angeles the next morning. Kit is going to see her fiance, who's a student at UCLA, and Lucy is going to find her mother in Arizona. During the trip, the car breaks down in Louisiana, and this is the famous scene. Everyone knows this scene. With the little money that they had, Mimi suggests that they sing karaoke at a New Orleans bar for tips. At the bar, Mimi gets scared. She gets stage fright, I guess, and she's unable to sing. So Lucy takes over, and she's a hit. She's great. She's Britney Spears. We all know how amazing she is. The girls earn enough money to get the car fixed, and they continue on their way. Okay. So they've also met a guy named Ben along the way here. Yeah. He's helping them. While staying in a motel, Kit tells Lucy and Mimi that she heard a rumor that Ben going to jail for killing a guy. Uneasy for most of the trip, the girls finally confront Ben and the rumor, and he reveals that he actually went to jail for helping his stepsister across step lines out of an abusive situation. So yeah, the bad boy image kind of dropped at that point, and we had to pick it up. The good guy, bad boy image kind of. I don't know how that's possible, but so Lucy and Ben fall in love with each other along this timeline of this movie. They're slowly getting closer each time, and they're falling in love with each other. Lucy eventually finds her mother, who is remarried and has 2 young sons, and is unhappy to see her, which was so sad. Absolutely heartbreaking.
Well, so that would be Kim Cattrall.
Yeah, exactly. Him. So she reveals that she's an unwanted pregnancy, and then Lucy's on her way. At the motel, Ben consoles Lucy and impresses her by writing a musical poem for her during the trip. Lucy then rejoins Kit, Mimi, and Ben, and they reach Los Angeles. While running away, Mimi falls down the stairs and loses her baby, which is a really sad moment, and it really can show the dangers of being a bit more reckless when you're pregnant and letting your emotions take the best of you sometimes.
And teenage pregnancy.
Exactly.
Now,
So hang on. Lucy calls her father to come take her, Kit, and Mimi back home. But Lucy ends up declining because they want her to stay, but she prepares to leave with her father. And then she realizes that she's done everything to please her father this her whole life. And instead of pleasing, herself, she's been pleasing him. Lucy tells her father to let her go, and she runs to Ben, and they kiss. See, Kit, that kiss was so dreamy. Ben is hot. She tells Kit and Mimi to head to the audition with Ben, and they receive a standing ovation for their performance of her song, I'm Not a Girl, Not Yet a Woman. And that's where it ends.
But do you know what I love about this movie is
Yeah.
it's Britney Spears.
Yes.
That
And it was a young Britney, and it was like a sweet Britney, like.
Yeah, like even her little sister Jamie Lynn Spears, who played her as a little girl. We all know Britney and Jamie's stories. But Britney at the height of her career decided to become an actress and do her own movie. And actually I own this movie on DVD. It highlights her capabilities as an actress, phenomenal actress, singer, songwriter, performer. It also highlights teen pregnancy.
You know what the thing is too, and it was also entertaining. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of chick flicks where I'm like, oh, this is a bit cheesy, too much. I'll still watch it, but
Yeah,
I'll be like, it's a bit much. But Crossroads was kind of entertaining at the same time. There was a storyline. It wasn't just like Britney Spears' life story or something.
yeah. And I think that's what makes it so fun, even though some find it cheesy.
Yeah.
Girls can sit down again with pillows and blankets and snacks and sort of have a moment with their best girlfriends, sisters, and sort of they can sing along. And the poem that Ben wrote for her was actually Britney's song,
Yeah.
I'm Not a Girl, Not Yet a Woman. And that's really important because that also, see, these chick flicks have messages or meanings. I'm not a girl, but I'm not yet a woman. Like,
Yeah, exactly. It was a very beautiful movie.
yeah,
All right, coming in at number 5, Angel.
Sex in the City.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, I love this movie. I've got season 1 to 6 on all collections. Sex and the City. We all know Sex and the City. We've seen the TV show.
I'm not gonna lie, I've seen it, but I have never really been that into it. But it is good. It is entertaining to watch. I have to admit that.
You have to, like, if you're really a Sex and the City fan, it's a guilty pleasure to watch it. And it really teaches, gives you tips and ideas. Sex and the City. Who do we have? Leading lady, the beautiful Sarah Jessica Parker, Cynthia Nixon, Kristen Davis, and Kim Cattrall, Samantha Jones. Let's talk about these beautiful, strong women. They basically Sarah Jessica Parker's character falls in love with Carrie. Carrie Bradshaw falls in love with Big throughout the TV series. In the movie, they're still together. He buys her home with this massive cupboard. And I remember going to the movies for the first time, seeing it, and I was like, look at it. What is it? And in the closet, he brings out a blue Louis Vuitton heel. And instead of giving her a ring, he gives her a blue Louis Vuitton heel as a proposal. He proposes to her via that home closet shoe thing. They move together, and then they move together into his apartment. It gets changed because she's a girl, whatnot. And then they start to develop their husband wife sort of living together, how they fit in together. And then what happens is they plan their wedding, and she decides to have it in a library, right? And it's grand and everything. And the girls are with her as bridesmaids. And he shows up in a limousine, cold feet. Cold feet, they don't end up getting married.
Oh no.
Yeah, he completely big broke her heart, right?
Yeah.
instead of crying days on end about it, what does Carrie do? She goes on the honeymoon that her and Big was supposed to go on, except she took Miranda, she took Charlotte, and she took the honeymoon.
That's women power right there.
Exactly, right? And on the honeymoon, she basically treats it like a girls' vacay. I mean, again, the end of the movie shows that once again they reunite, they fall in love, but they get married in a court where no one's watching. I mean, these chick flicks are the essence of how strong and amazing we are.
Yeah.
The power, the exquisite. You forget the acting, you forget the character, and you just see the realness of the projection of the phoenix that comes out. It's just like, wow. If someone stands me up at a wedding, stuff it. I'm still gonna go on my honeymoon.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take my best girlfriends. It's a girls' vacay.
Yeah.
And I just love the idea that no matter what happens in chick flicks, there's always the power of your girls to rally behind you.
Yeah.
The love and the support.
Yeah,
What do
that
you
empowering feeling. So coming in at number 6, I think
Yeah.
we're number 6. All right. I've chosen Mamma Mia. So I've seen the musical. I've done the stage play. I love Mamma Mia. I love musicals. I love everything about it. I love ABBA. So we've got Meryl Streep. So another couple of big names in this film. We've got Meryl Streep. We've got Amanda Seyfried, Christine Baranski, Julie Walters, Pierce Brosnan, Colin Firth. That's just to name a few of them. So, Mamma Mia, what can I say about Mamma Mia?
Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia is basically Mamma Mia.
Exactly.
Mamma Mia is basically a story of a girl trying to find her birth fathers. It's her wedding, okay? So, on a fictional Greek island, bride-to-be Sophie, played by Amanda Seyfried, reveals to her bridesmaids that she secretly invited 3 men to the island without telling her mother Donna, played by Meryl Streep. They are the men with whom that was like in her mother's diary from ages ago. She invited all 3 of them. She doesn't know which one is her birth father, but the times meet up for around her birth, blah, blah, blah. So they all arrive, and one by one, she's telling them what's going on, and she begs them to hide in this old farmhouse, her mother's old farmhouse. And so they all agree to not to reveal themselves at that point. So, sorry, it's not a farmhouse, it's a goat house. I've got it written down right here. So Donna finds them, right? She accidentally sees them. They don't see her. And she runs to her best friends and she's like, am I going crazy? I've just seen them here. What are they all doing here? What's going on? Did I invite them by accident? Blah, 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 blah. Sorry, one second. So then obviously after that, something happens and all 3 men are aboard Bill's sailboat. I think it was Bill. I'm pretty sure it was Bill. His sailboat, and they're sailing around the island. Sophie joins them and they all bond and blah, blah, blah. All that good lovey-dovey stuff. Sophie decides that she wants to talk with them alone so she can kind of figure out which one is her father. She learns that her mother had received the money for the villa via Bill, which is one of the men, from his great aunt Sophia. So she comes to the conclusion that that's her father, and she asks him to walk her down the aisle. The same things happen with the next 2. She finds something out, asks him to walk down the aisle. It's a whole mess. It's a whole thing. She eventually admits to her fiance what she's done, and then they have a bit of a tiff. As Sophie's getting ready for the wedding, Donna admits to her that her mother disowned her after she got pregnant and that she couldn't be more proud of having her. Donna promises to give Sophie away, so she doesn't have to rely on the men anymore. As the bridal party walks to the chapel, Sam intercepts Donna and who reveals the pain she felt losing him. At the wedding, Sam reveals that he did not go through with engagement, but returned to find Donna with another man, Bill. The paternity confirmed, each agreeing to be 1/3 of a father for Sophie. That's the conclusion here. Knowing what both of them want, Sophie suggests to Sky, which is her fiance, that they postpone their wedding and travel the world. Sam proposes to Donna, revealing that he's now divorced and has loved her for all this time, and she happily accepts. that's pretty much the movie. They all, in the end, it's a girl looking for her fathers. She bonds with all three of them. The mother falls in love with one of them. One of them falls in love with the mother's best friend, and another one, the other one, I can't remember what happened. He was gay, I think. But yeah, they all decide to be 1/3 parent for her, which is a really nice message. I think it was really sweet, like just to see someone go on a journey like that. Like, because I'm sure there's many children around the world who are searching for their birth parents, or one or maybe both, and to find anyone to have that type of relationship with and that bond is a really nice thing. And yeah, it was a really great movie. One of my tops.
To be honest, I may get a lot of hate here, but Mamma Mia, not exactly my go-to movie.
Too musical, too upbeat. Is it the cinematography?
I'm a big ABBA fan. I love ABBA. I love all of ABBA's music. I think they're so incredible and amazing. We love you, ABBA. But Mamma Mia, I think when I've seen it twice, and I have to say that I basically fell asleep twice through it.
Oh no, it's so upbeat though. What?
It's not anything. I just feel like it's one of those movies that you go, how long can I sit there for?
Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, alrighty then. Moving on.
I'm sorry. Don't make me.
Coming in at number 7, Angel, take it away.
Sweet Home Alabama. Another
Sweet Home Alabama.
Love you so much. You're amazing actress. Okay, Reese Witherspoon. Let's get to this cast here. Josh Lucas, Dreamy Patrick Dempsey, Candice Bergen, Dakota Fanning, Ethan Embry, Melanie something, sorry, and Jean Smart. So Reese, who plays Melanie, who is from the South, from Alabama, and she goes to New York and becomes a major fashion designer, runway fashion designer, and she ends up dating Andrew, a fine New York politician, eligible bachelor, Patrick Dempsey. Hello. And then his mother, the mayor of New York, played by Candice Bergen, another phenomenal actress. So he whisks her away, to a jewelry store, pretends he's going to meeting. She comes to a jewelry store and he basically proposes at the jewelry store. She says yes, puts a ring on her finger, then discovers she needs to get divorced, right?
Yes.
So as she's driving to Alabama, she takes off the ring when she, gets to Alabama, puts it in her bag, does what she needs to do, ends up in jail overnight. Her father picks her up, right? And then she gets to her mom and dad's house. And basically the next day, she goes to her husband's house, played by Josh Lucas. And she starts demanding him to sign the divorce papers so that she can get married. And then she flashes that ring. And, then they have this like hoedown where they dance and, drink. And she goes to the bar next day. He has a hot date and she gets severely intoxicated. He drives her to her parents' house. She keeps, demanding the divorce. She changes the layout of their house, finds the key, he calls a cop, etc. Long story short, she ends up having the wedding in the South, and everybody from the political side comes. And then she realizes that she can't marry him because she's already given her heart away to her husband. And he's the only one that has it. And she's basically still in love with her husband. I mean,
it was a beautiful.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed watching them come together.
Reese Witherspoon can do no wrong in she touches. I
feel like she has a strong contender to be America's sweetheart.
She is America's sweetheart, but She can do no wrong.
Mm.
You
Yeah,
know?
she has some really great movies.
And I have to thank her because she just gives off that, sort of kindness, that empathy, that fun. She's funny. She's funny
Mm.
as hell. But Sweet Home Alabama, get on with it, people. Watch it. The next one is number 8.
All right, coming up in number 8. My choice is a sexy choice, Moulin Rouge. I don't know if that's sexy, but I'm going to say sexy. So in this flick, we've got Nicole Kidman and Ewan McGregor. So here we go. In 1900s Paris, Christian, a young, depressed, and recent death of a woman he loved, begins writing their story on his typewriter. A year earlier, he arrives in Paris to join the Bohemian movement. He suddenly meets Henry de Toulouse-Lautrec and his troupe of performers who are writing a play called Spectacular Spectacular. After Christian helps them complete the play, they go to the Moulin Rouge, where they hope Christian's talents will impress Satine. Satine is played by Nicole Kidman. The star performer and courtesan, is that the word? I'm not sure. Who will in turn convince Harold Zidler, the proprietor of the Moulin Rouge, to let Christian write the show. However, Zidler plans to have the wealthy, powerful Duke of Monmouth sleep with Satine in exchange for potential financing to convert the club into a theatre. Approving the story, the Duke agrees to invest, but only if Satine and the Moulin Rouge are turned over to him. Later, Satine claims to not be in love with Christian, but he eventually wears down her resolve and they kiss. During the construction at the Moulin Rouge, Christian and Satine's love deepens, with the Duke becoming frustrated, and all the time he thinks Satine is spending with Christian working on the play. Zidler finds Satine in her dressing room packing. He tells her that her illness is fatal. So at this point, Satine becomes sick. She starts coughing up blood, which is very sad. 1 second, sorry. Lost my spot. Okay, so he tells her that her illness is fatal and the Duke is planning on murdering Christian. And that if she wants Christian to live, she will cut him off completely and be with the Duke only. Mustering all of her acting abilities, she complies, leaving Christian devastated. On opening night of the show, in front of a full audience, Christian denounces Satine and vows to give her to the Duke before walking off stage. But Toulouse-Lautrec cries out for the rafters, "The greatest thing you'll ever learn is to love and be loved in return." This spurs Satine to sing their secret song, causing Christian to change his mind. The show ends with Christian and Satine proclaiming their love as the Duke permanently storms out of the cabaret. He was very upset. The audience erupts in applause, but Satine collapses and the curtain closes. Before dying, she tells Christian to write their story so she will always be with him. Do I feel like this story is a bit cheesy? Yes. Did I really enjoy the cinematography of Moulin Rouge? Yes. Oh my God, it was amazing. The lights, the cabaret, the singing, everything. The burlesque of it all. It was the first time I'd ever been introduced to burlesque. And I fell in love with that culture. I don't know. There was something about the music and the funness of it that I just fell in love with. And I think it's a really nice message that love really is a real thing. Even if that was written by somebody, blah, blah, whatever. Love is a real thing. And those two had to really fight really hard in that movie to be together. And it was on and off the whole movie. And she eventually passes away. But it was a really nice message of love.
Don't hate me for this.
You don't like it. Don't say it.
I'm sorry. I love Nicole Kidman. I think she's an incredible, phenomenal woman, an incredible, phenomenal actress. But this movie was her worst.
This. Do I think that they should have cast Nicole Kidman as somebody like, that role? Yes. I don't think Nicole Kidman, I don't feel like she did a bad job. She did a really great job, but she wasn't right for that role. She's too much like A-lister Hollywood in your face to be in that movie, I feel.
Highlighted that movie for me. wasn't just the Burlesque. It was Kylie Minogue. Let's all say it. Kylie Minogue made Moulin Rouge. Okay, she was
The Green Fairy, that was. I don't know. I've never really been big on Kylie Minogue.
to rate that movie and be a 1 out of 10.
Oh no, I'm right. I'm gonna give Moulin Rouge a solid 7.5. Like solid.
Sorry to go get it, but
All right, coming in at number 9, Angel.
is, ladies and gentlemen, or ladies and girls everywhere, Devil Wears Prada.
Woo! Oh, classic.
This
Love Meryl Streep.
movie I own on DVD, right? Devil Wears Prada. Hello, can it get any better than this? Devil Wears Prada is based on a book of the same name, but it's also kind of Anna. It's Anna Wintour, the Vogue editor CEO of Vogue, who does the Met Gala balls, who all celebrities get invited to a year in advance. So basically, this is Meryl Streep, who plays Miranda Priestley, the editor-chief of, her magazine. Anne Hathaway. Oh my God, Anne Hathaway, who plays Andy or Andrea. And you have Emily Blunt in this movie.
Mm-hmm. She played her role really well in this movie.
Oh yeah. Emily Blunt.
Really well.
And Hathaway, fabulous. Yeah. And Meryl Streep, you are a queen, ma'am. And basically, Miranda Priestley hires a co-assistant to help her, right? So here comes Andrea or Andy, this dowdy looking everyday girl who's, I think, a journalist or studying to become a journalist.
Mm.
And she comes into the office wearing this ugly blue sweater, gray skirt, high boots. It's not exactly attractive or pretty looking. And she's writing her notebooks, and here comes Emily Blunt. And he's wearing the high latest fashion, and basically Andy has to run around doing everything for everybody. And then Miranda changes her for whether it be the worst or the better. It depends how anyone can see this. And then she gets transformed from an ugly duckling into a beautiful swan with her hair, her clothes, her shoes, her makeup, etc. And basically starts going to all these events. She climbs higher and higher and higher and higher in Miranda's eyes. And then she has competition with Emily.
Speaking of that scene, can we talk about her makeover? Because my hair looks the same as when she gets the makeover, the fringe.
Yeah. And I have to say that this movie highlights how us women shouldn't be, maybe.
Yeah.
Because magazines to women are like Bibles almost. It's kind of a religious Bible. What to wear, what not to wear. How much makeup, how much not makeup. Bags, shoes, nails, etc., perfumes, clothes, this, that. What I love about it is it puts focus on who Anna Wintour is. Anna Wintour is a powerful, incredible woman who runs her own fashion empire.
Yeah.
Vogue. She's one who does a Met Galas. All the celebrities pay top dollar to be invited.
You see, we watched a 2-hour movie about it. She lives that every day, every second.
Yeah.
That's her life, like, pretty much.
And that's what Devil Wears Prada showed, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I love this movie because Meryl Streep, queen.
Meryl Streep can play any role. I'm just going to throw it out there. You could throw her anything and she could play it. She even played a man once in a movie.
She could also do no wrong here. And she highlighted, but I think it was exaggerated to how she was looking at Andy, her facial expressions. I think she also, with the glasses, like Anna Wintour constantly wears sunglasses so you don't see her eyes.
Yeah.
And, she's very reserved. And I just love how Meryl
captured
Anna Wintour. everything she stood for and
Do
believed
you
that.
believe that that was intentional, or do you believe that she was just capturing the essence of what it means to be in that world?
Um, I have to say it's very, very, very believable. But she was also encompassing how who Anna is, her mannerisms, her looks, what she wears,
Yeah.
you know, how she what's the word I'm looking for? How us girls project ourselves, how she projects herself.
Mm.
This mysterious lady, powerful, strong, beautiful, you know, tough, you know, but the exterior of it what I what I don't like about this movie is that those magazine articles that we grew up with in our hands as little girls, as you have to be a size 2 in order to be beautiful.
Yeah.
You have to have cosmetic surgery and able to look beautiful. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to be a size 2 or a stick figure to be
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Does that highlight the wrong side? Sure. But it's never was Prada. I mean, I still
Look, they encompassed what it means to be in that industry, in that world, and it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? That's
yeah,
exactly what I imagine it to be like.
yeah. But
Yeah.
here's the thing, right? With this movies, are we sending a good message to girls or are we sending a backwards message to girls?
Hmm.
Here's the question.
So I don't think there was so much of a message in this movie. I think it was more factual. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's kind of confirming what we already all think of the industry, and you're meant to make up your own mind based on how Andy changes and then changes back.
yeah,
Um, it's meant to inspire you to be either way and to just be 100% of whatever you are, kind of, I think.
yeah. I agree.
Coming in at number 10,
Go ahead.
we've got Burlesque. Now,
Oh,
for some reason, I picked all musical movies. I don't know how that happened. I didn't even think this
oh my
through.
god, what a top 10. 10.
Burlesque is one of my top movies. It's just so powerful, so sexy. I love everything about it. So, as we all know, Christina Aguilera, the beautiful Christina Aguilera, amazing vocals, amazing voice. See, this is another one like Crossroads with Britney Spears in it. This is another one with a big musical star in it that's like not based around her life story, but it's a storyline, which I really enjoyed.
How down to share.
So, Cher, we've got Christina Aguilera, Cher, Cam, Gigadent. Sorry if I've pronounced that incorrect. Kristen Bell, Stanley Tucci, he's in everything. Eric Dane and Alan Cummings.
Oh, McDreamy.
So here we go. Alice Marilyn Rose is a young waitress from Iowa who dreams of becoming a professional dancer following her mother's death during childhood. After her selfish boss refuses salary, Allie steals from him and moves to Los Angeles. There, Allie attends multiple auditions with little success. Overnight, Allie comes across a burlesque club, where Tess, played by Cher, the club's owner, and an entourage of dancers perform an opening number. Allie also meets songwriter Jack Miller during this time. Jack refers her to Tess for an audition. She's told to come back another time, and then she's ushered away by Sean, Stanley Tucci. Upon seeing the waitress shortage, Ellie picks up a tray and begins serving. As a result, she manages to get a job as a waitress at the club. Ali replaces Nikki one night to perform. This is where it all happens. So one night, Nikki, which is one of the best burlesque dancers, something happens and she's not there. So Ali performs in her place. Sorry, 1 second. In a fit of rage, this keeps happening. I keep losing my spot. So then Nikki shows up and she's in a fit of rage, right? And she goes and she turns the music off. Ali, obviously played by Christina Aguilera, ends up singing, no lip singing, no nothing. Absolutely amazing, spot on performance, and that's where her career starts. She just blossomed right there and then. That song was so powerful. One of the greatest songs, Bound to You, I think it was. Absolutely stunning and amazing. I think it was that. It might have been a different song. So, meanwhile, Jack and Ellie become romantically attracted to each other. However, Jack's already engaged to somebody, an actress working in New York City. Sean encourages Jack to end the relationship or the engagement, as Ellie is a better person than his fellow fiance. At this point, Jack and Ellie are living together. Something happens. Ellie doesn't have a place to live. She's sleeping on Jack's couch, and they're playfully flirting every night. And he's so hot. Oh my god, the scenes of Anyway. Ellie learns that Marcus is interested. So then Ellie meets this guy named Marcus and she starts going out with him a little bit. Pardon?
I thought it was Jack.
No. So that's Jack that she's living with. Ellie then meets a man at the club named Marcus, right? And they're talking and they're, Jack's got a girlfriend, Jack's got a fiance. They're not really, nothing's really happening there. They just flirt with each other and then that's it. So Marcus and Ellie go out, and then she finds out that Marcus wants the air rights above Tessa's club. So she goes and tells Tess, who's already dealing with, like, the club's about to get taken away by the bank. She's behind in all this. She needs this much money, blah, blah. Her ex-husband, who owns half the club, he ends up coming into it. There's a whole big fuss there. So she tells Tess about the plan, and they inform the owner that the obstruction of the prospective purchase of viewers. So pretty much they inform the owner, and he, which is I'm pretty sure is played by her ex-husband, he buys the air rights to the club property from Tess. She uses the money to then buy out Vince. So sorry, I'm incorrect. So he buys the club. She then uses that money to buy her share from her ex, his name's Vince. She buys her half of the club. And Ellie rekindles her relationship with Jack after that they obviously broke up with his fiance, blah, blah, blah. And then obviously now Ellie's the main performer at this club. Tess owned it outright. Everyone's happy. Everyone's together. They're working together. Ellie's final performance is Show Me How You Burlesque, a song written by Jack with all the dancers on stage delighting the crowd.
Can I just say, Burlesque actually was the inspiration of how the Pussycat Dolls started.
Oh, wow. Really? I didn't know that.
Burlesque dancers. Yeah. They were all burlesque dancers, and then they got signed to a record deal and became the Pussycat Dolls. But
okay.
Cher,
amazing. Burlesque is such a well done movie, and the casting in it, amazing. I would not change a thing with the casting.
Cher, you are a beautiful queen. I bow down to you. Christina Aguilera, you are another queen. I mean,
one of my top favorite singers, Christina Aguilera. All of her music's just a hit. She
Yeah.
is such a vocal. It's just amazing.
Cher for me. I love you, Christina, but Cher all the way. Cher all the way home. Cher, I love
Yeah,
you.
too. Obviously, she's an icon, absolute icon.
When you hear her sing in that movie, it's like it goes completely quiet.
Yeah.
I've never seen her concerts live, but I've got her DVDs.
Yeah.
You cannot have picked two phenomenal women for
I have to admit, when Cher sings her part in the club, it's a really powerful song.
Oh really my beautiful. God. And like Christina Aguilera was the right choice for this movie. I mean, you couldn't have picked someone like Idina Menzel or Britney Spears or whoever else that could sing.
Yeah, no, definitely.
For them both.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. We hope you enjoyed our second episode of The Girls Room. Like and subscribe for more Girls Room content.
Let us know who your top 10 chick flicks are, your actresses, singers, performers, and movies. We are currently planning episode 3 is in the works coming soon. Please make sure you let us know that you like our content. Smash that like button and subscribe. Invite all your girlfriends too to let us know what you think. And join our Facebook group as well. I'm Luna. Bye, everyone. Thank you for joining us, and have a fabulous week. Bye.